Hi, this is Terry. I've lost 180 pounds on a meat-focused, low-carb diet. I've managed to maintain since 2022. Stick around because I never know what adventure I'm on. I bet y'all's morning is going better than his. Look at that poor boy. He's just so dramatic. All he has to do is tilt his head down and he could see out, but nope. Anyway. Got the crew, the pit crew, they're going to stay at daycare. Oh, now he turned his head down a little bit. He's so funny. That poor boy, he's so abused, guys. He's so abused. Ain't that right, Baxter Rooney? Hi. Say hi, guys. Hi, guys. There he is. He come to the front to look out. Hi, Bubba. And see, all he has to do is tilt his head down, but, you know, it's not as dramatic if he tilts his head down. There's Sammy Joe. Hi, buddy. Hi, guys. This is their happy place. They love Happy Tails. They have such a good time. There's a couple dogs over there. Anyway, so they're here and they'll stay the night tonight and tomorrow night. Hello. So I'm kind of processing what I'm going to do for tomorrow. I know I bought some of the protein chips, so I'll take those along. I usually take, like whenever I go to meetings and stuff, I always take my coffee that I sip on in the morning, and then I take a second one that I sip on in the afternoon, especially if we're gonna have to drive 3.5 hours back. So what I think I'm gonna do this time, because Suzanne and I, we don't stop and eat on our way back. So what I think I'm gonna do is take, and believe me, this is gonna be more food than I normally eat, so just accept that. I'll make a protein coffee in the morning, so I'll sip on that on the drive, and then I'll have some water, and then for lunch, whatever I bring, and then for later on in the afternoon, I'm gonna drink another protein coffee, and I'll have, what I'm gonna do is I bought 4 bags of chips. You know I'm gonna eat all 4, so don't even question it. Yeah, you know it's happening. Anyway. So I'll put 2 bags in a Ziploc bag. I'll dump them out and then 2 in another one. So that way on the drive up, it'll give me something to nibble and pick on. And then on the way back, same thing. If we stop at a gas station or something, I might pick up a brat or something. On our way back, we'll see. I don't know. But my plan is I'm going to have a protein coffee and then available, some protein chips for the way up and while I'm there. And then my lunch, and then on the way back have my protein coffee and then the chips, and then like I said, if we stop at a gas station I might pick up a brat. So that's just kind of my thought process, and if I get home early enough I'll pick up the dogs, but if I don't then I won't, because they close at 7. So I usually call whenever I'm getting close and kind of seeing how long and what time frame I'm looking at. So anyway, it just depends on that old St. Louis traffic. So anyway, all right, well, I'll see you at brunch. It is 8:19. I'm still sipping on my morning coffee. Okay, bye. Hello, I'm Hungry Jack. It is 10 till 11. I've been hungry since I woke up this morning, but I will confess. Oh, I left my water in the hallway. Hang on, let me go fill my water. I'll be right back. Okay, now I got my water. So, today, it's been a good day, and just working on a spreadsheet and listening to some music. It all starts to sound the same though. I think somebody, you know how sometimes like people will take music from one person and then mesh other music together. I don't know if they call that a mashup or something like that. Anyway, there's a station that I found and I was listening to, and I liked it, but it all kind of starts sounding the same. So I'm like, okay, time for a new station. But anyway, so I've been just listening to K-Love, and I've been hungry. Oh, what I was starting to tell you was I'm hungry, but I hadn't drank much of my water. It was only down to here, so. Because usually that kind of helps keep that hunger away. So last night for supper, I made myself a burger, and I used that tomato and chicken bouillon. So I sprinkled some of that on there. And but last night I added ketchup. I didn't add ketchup today. So, hang on now. I gotta get my salad mixed up without dumping it on my lap. I don't like dumping it on my lap. I don't want to smell like cabbage all day. You know, cabbage kind of gets a little funky. My hair's looking a little bit like, it's looking a little bit like Einstein today. But I didn't use like my smoothing round brush thing. Yeah. So I'm looking I feel like I'm looking a little bit like a genius today. Didn't you know you were following a genius? A genius of shenanigans. Anyway, so I got my salad, same as usual. I told y'all I took the dogs to daycare this morning. So what happens is tomorrow, which is Wednesday, Suzanne and I, we leave at 5 o'clock in the morning. And then it takes anywhere from 3.5 to 4 hours to get there. So with St. Louis traffic, if we leave at 6, well, it doesn't start till 10, but if we leave at 6, which in theory, if there were no traffic, we'd be there in 3.5 hours. But we're on this side of St. Louis and Jeff City's on the other side of St. Louis. So if we leave at 6, in theory, we'd be on the other side of St. Louis. But at 6 a.m. and 7 a.m., people who live in the outskirts are driving into town. So on our way to St. Louis, we are going with the flow of traffic and dealing with traffic. And but then on our drive home, we run. So on the way, so if we can get past St. Louis by 7, we're doing pretty good, you know. So that's why we leave at 5. So then by 7, we're on the other side of St. Louis, and we miss that big an hour worth of traffic that's going into St. Louis. So then once we get on the other side of St. Louis, it's smooth sailing. Coming home, we kind of get with that same issue. It's not like whenever we get on we leave there at usually about 3. And so what I do is on our way up, I stop at this gas station and we fill up every time. I don't care whether it's too high or too low gas or too high of gas, I just get it. Full up right before we go into town. And then, so we got full tank. So then afterwards at 3 o'clock ish, they let us go and we come home. So I don't have to fill up my tank, but we just go through as fast as we can because the ideal is to get on the other side of St. Louis. But usually what happens is we get on to 70, which is we get on 70 and 270, and those are both very, very congested areas. So sometimes if we get out just a little early enough, we can get on the other side of St. Louis and beat the traffic. Because if you think 3, 4, 5, so at 5 o'clock, that's when there's traffic. Well, between 4 and 5. But sometimes we get out a little bit. We get out a little bit early so we can just get right past it. But if we don't, then we hit right in the middle of it. So anyway, but yeah, so that's kind of what we have to deal with tomorrow. But so today is just about getting things caught up so that way I can, have those things done for tomorrow. So, but yeah, that's what I got on my list. And then, so Wednesday, Suzanne and I go to Jeff City. And then Thursday, I'll be back to work. And I take Lou to a vet appointment that afternoon. Follow up from them stitching up his ear. So we'll see how it all goes. Right now he's at daycare. I said, don't take off that cone because that foot is like a magnet to that ear. You pull that cone off and it's even when he's standing, it looks funny because he looks like a little tripod and he's trying to stand up straight. Poor boy. I'm so terrible. Anyway, love y'all and I'll see you at Lupper. Bye. I forgot to show you. There's my burger. It's 85% burger. I can't help it. I was too busy talking. But it's 85% burger with that seasoning on it. Some pickles. I'll dump those right into there. So I'll be having like a burger with pickles. Look, it's going down. Bye. Here's a song for you. Have I told you lately that I love food? Have I told you lately I love food? Because I do love food. It's so fabulous. I love lunchtime. I can face the day. Once I got a full belly, bring on the troubles. Bring on the troubles, because it's going to be a good day. I done ate my lunch. Okay, bye. I just saw a baby. One of my nurses, her daughter brought her grandson. They're outside. He's so cute. He's about, I think she said he's 4 months. I said, too young for me to hold. I don't hold them till they're about 7, 8 months. They're just too breakable. I need them to be sturdy and stocky. Anyway, I've been so stinking hungry today, and I was just thinking about it when I was in the bathroom. Ain't that where we do our best thinking at? Anyway, I was in the bathroom. I'm like, why am I so hungry? Then I'm like, oh, yeah, Terri, you're hungry because you ate junk. Well, too much. Not junk, but you ate too much food over Saturday and Sunday. I remember when I was doing Weight Watchers, and I would have like a off day. And for those of you who do like a day where you do really good, and then a day where you know, because I know some people do that carb loading days. Anyway, so when I was doing Weight Watchers, and I would have a day of just eating junk, and then I'd go back to eating. I'd always be hungry for a couple days, and it was hard in my brain, and it still is hard in my brain after eating a lot amount. It's hard to go back to eating a smaller portion mentally. There's a lot of mental work with this, even though my stomach was fine. And let me tell you something, yesterday, I was driving home, and my stomach was just going to town, and all of a sudden I went, I'm like, oh, my stomach ain't hungry no more. Makes me wonder if maybe my stomach is just gassy, and I think it's hungry. It was upper GI, not lower GI. It was a burp, not a toot. Okay, bye. Message to editing Terri. Sweet Leslie brought us some, or gave me some, what do you call this thing? Anyway, I got 1 strawberry, so figure out how to plug in 1 strawberry. 4 grapes. And I already ate 1, but 4 pieces of cheese. So editing Terri, figure that out. Okay. And don't forget to scan in. You ate a package of edamame seeds, those edamame beans things. Okay, now you're up to date. Howdy. I hope you had a good day. I did. It was a good day. And tomorrow's going to be a fun day. It's fun. It's a hard day. It really is a hard day because I have to get up about 4. And then I'll pick Suzanne up around 5 or leave my house about 5. And so just that long 3-hour drive up, and then, 3.5 to 4 hour drive up, and then 3.5, 4 hour drive back. It just makes for a really hard, long day. So I got a lot of my work done, and I have a lot of, hang on. I was watching that trial while I was at work and working on my spreadsheet. So there it is. Anyway, so I was working on a spreadsheet and listening to this in the background. Like sometimes I have to do data entry and on various things. So yeah. So it was what? I think it was like 2 something was. Anyway, sorry. I know. Be quiet. I'll push pause. Oh, that's where I was. All right. So anyway, yeah, I got things done, and it was a good day. It was a productive day. I went ahead and made up my supper for tonight, and then my lunch for tomorrow. What is? Oh, that's this, my salt jar. Supper tonight's kind of random, and my calories are more because of it. But my eyes needed more, and that's that. I've got burger in here, and in with that, I have some ketchup. I have some raw rutabaga, so it's going to be crunchy. Raw tomatoes. And it's 2 servings of the pepperonis that I had whenever I made my little pizza stuff this weekend. When we're done, I gotta text my plumber guy. My water's dripping real slow again. It was fine, and then I did laundry Saturday, and after that, it's not done right. Anyway, so that's what I'm having. Just a big old hodgepodge. Don't worry, I'll do this better tomorrow. I won't just blow dry it and go for that fuzzy look. Anyway, so tonight, I'm trying to see where, yeah, that's where I was. What I told y'all, I recorded my creamy being made, making my creamies, and this is the second one, so I've got 2 more to record. I might throw in a bonus one, but so I'll have Thursday creamy, Wednesday creamy, Thursday creamy, and maybe Friday creamy. So I don't know exactly when the video will come out, but tonight, I like this. It's pistachio keto chow with strawberry equip prime. The caramel and peanut butter came today. So, yeah. So, all right, you guys. I'm going to let you go because I really need to kind of force myself to bring it down, because if I'm going to get up to 4, I really need to be in bed resting and trying to go sleep by 8. I understand my brain may not be ready, but that's what I'm going to have to try to do. So I love you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye. That's a lot of calories, Terri. And net carbs, they're not too bad, but I'll survive. And there you go, guys. Have a good night.